Peace, y'all. It's the Lord Head Co-World. I'm over here kicking it with the guy, Jay Wiggs. What's up, sir?
What's good, Brody?
I can't call it. Just want to welcome everybody back to another episode of Brody Sports Talk. We are at the Des10nation here, episode 10, season 3 of the Blacktop edition. If you haven't noticed, we got merch out here. You know, what a difference a year makes, man. We got merch doing real well here. We got our first recipient of the Brody grant coming out to you this week. So stay tuned for that. But things are looking up here for us, Wiggs.
Sold out of a couple colors. So
a few colors.
You know,
the Brody specials are sold out, bro. The black and red and black and gray are all sold out. So definitely thank you to everybody for the support.
We will let y'all know when we get new inventory, though. So
yeah, you know, like we hot right now. You know what I'm saying? So the only way we got there is by y'all following us here, y'all. So you need to click on the bottom right-hand corner and like and subscribe on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and tell a friend to tell a friend. But to go ahead and get started here, we're going to start off with the basketball, you know, since it's basketball season in the height of the conference finals here. So before the game started last night, Wiggs, Wemby observed something that, for the better part, pissed him off, right? And that was SGA being awarded his second consecutive MVP award. And after last night's performance from Wemby, the question here is he the real MVP, Wiggs? Like, is Wemby now the face of the NBA? Because honestly, I'll be real with you, bro. Like, I liked SGA last year. This year, he kind of started getting on my nerves with all the flopping and all that good stuff. And I just didn't feel like he was the best player in the league this year, despite him winning the MVP. We've been saying it all season that Wemby was really the best player in the league. So do you think Wemby was, snubbed? He finished third. He didn't even finish second.
I don't want to say snubbed because I think Jokic was just as deserving. You know, I don't think this was Wemby's award to win per se. Like I said, because Jokic was really good. I actually think LeBron and Luka were really good. You know, I don't know if you can get co-MVP on a team, you know, but for what LeBron did this season while Luka was down, what Luka did was pretty special with some of the numbers he got.
Yeah.
I do think Wemby had the most impact, and I do think Wemby should have won MVP, but I don't think that that he was per se. Now, Is he the face of the NBA? Yes. Wemby is the face. Like, he's the reason I watch games, and
me too. Yeah,
I'm locked in when I'm watching Wemby play.
Yeah,
kind of like watching Steph Curry. It's like watching LeBron. Like, he is now the must-see TV. For me, it was Anthony Edwards, and Wemby kind of overtook Ant. So I would say Ant was, the person I thought was next up. Wemby has overtaken that, and I don't see anybody. I mean, we'll see what Darren Peterson does, because some people are comparing him to people like Kobe. Not saying he'll be Kobe or Jordan or anything like that, but he is a really good shooter, and we're in that next generation where the next generation is gonna step up. We'll talk about the draft a little bit later for the folks, but right now Wemby is the face of the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point as far as the draft. We can kind of sneak that in there, like with the Wizards getting the number 1 pick. I mean, they were like with last when they went to go pick the year that they drafted Wemby to San Antonio, they were one like pick off or something like that when it came to the draft lottery. So he could have been here in DC, but I mean, that just goes to show how you can turn a franchise around with the number 1 pick in the draft. And hopefully the Wizards, can do something with that this year. But I mean, Wemby, he's a unicorn, man. Well, actually, the quote Colin Cowherd, he said, "I've seen a unicorn. I've never seen a Wemby." You know what I'm saying? Like, a unicorn came from Akron, Ohio. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
But like Wemby, as far as him being the face of the NBA and this being I guess like the ushering of a new generation, Wiggs. LeBron's getting ready to retire. KD and Steph Curry, they're on their last laps. There has to be a face of the league. And unfortunately, there's no American players right now that are popular enough to either take the crown or diligent enough to want it. I mean, Anthony Edwards said he doesn't want to be the face, despite him having the talent to do so. So it has to go foreign, I guess. And why not go with the Frenchman?
Yeah, I mean, and not only in the league, in the Olympics, in the All-Star game. The All-Star game this year was better because Wemby brought that competition. The Olympics,
he's very competitive
because Wemby brought that competition. Last night's game, like you said, you don't care about basketball. You were watching last night's game, texting me.
I sure was. Both overtimes and everything. I stayed up.
Oh, I wanted to go to sleep, but I'm like, I can't. He's turning into must-see TV.
Yeah,
that's the definition of face of the league. That person that you have to tune in to see, and they're gonna produce moments. You know, it's not like I think last year when I was watching Wemby, I was like, I see it, I get it, I definitely got it last year. I would say the year before that, it was the talent was a little more raw. You know, it's like, okay, I can see what he will be. He still needs to kind of slow the game needs to slow down for him. Last night he was Hakeem, he was Steph Curry, he was Shaq.
That 28-footer was crazy.
He was Tim Duncan. Like, he was everything that they needed.
He was all the above. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just like you said. It's not a unicorn. It's not an alien. It's a Wemby. Like, this is Wembenyama, and that picture of him standing in front of his teammates like this, and they're just looking at him, pointing at him, like, yo, that's so dope because it's so real. Like, we're seeing something that, for anybody that never got to see Jordan, if you never got to see Steph Curry, you know, we got some young viewers. Shout out to Aiden and Ethan, and shout out to my boys.
To the young guys there. What's up, fellas?
You know, if you never got to see Steph Curry or Michael Jordan,
appreciate Steph
LeBron,
Curry,
or appreciate those guys, what you're watching with Wemby is what we've seen before, and we're like, yo, what is this? Like, this is what it felt like watching LeBron for the first times, when he's just running down the court. And it's like, yo, this is a completely different thing. So, it's exciting, man.
And to see someone at 7'5" operate the way he does, like, his wingspan is 9'7". So that means if you are trying to let me rephrase this. If you're trying to drive the ball right into the paint or make a shot from 12 feet in, you have a very hard time doing that. Like, look at the field goal percentages with FGA and everybody when they play Wemby.
When they play,
you're not like getting any inside shots off.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, I think they only made like 2 of 10 or something like that, which means they're not even attempting. You know, you get there and you're like, it's not a good shot. Let me pass it away. And when you do go for the shot, it's not a good shot selection. I think Wemby ended up with 3 or 4 blocks, 40 and 20. Mm-hmm. We didn't say that, Co. We gotta slow down. 40 and 20 in his first conference finals game.
Crazy.
The youngest player in playoff history to reach those numbers. It's just special, man. Like I said, it's exciting. It's special. And you mentioned the competition. Let me slow down and give him his respect for the competition, because, you know, I think this is how special LeBron is as well, because I'm going to bring up LeBron. Mm-hmm. This is how special LeBron is. He is the next Jordan. You know, we don't have to say he's better than Jordan or, you know, even getting into that for Wemby yet. But you can just say these players are special. You know, Jordan is special. LeBron is special. And the reason I'm bringing up LeBron is because Wemby's competition, his level of competition is special. Mm-hmm. That's something that we kind of lacked. A lot of people talked about it with LeBron being friends with his competitors. Wemby's doesn't not want to be your friend.
Nope.
Like, he wants to say F you, and that's why he had to go see the monks. Because he's like, I got to be able to control myself and really get through the game. And you saw it last night. As the game went on, he looked like he wasn't even sweating. Like, dog, it's about to be one of those things where, like, you start telling stories about somebody.
Like, where were you when you saw Wembenyama?
Yeah, it's like, yo, this 7'5" dude was shooting like Steph Curry. Like, all right, come on now.
That 28, yo,
he really did. Like,
when he pulled up, first of all, I had to like kind of I don't know. I had to do like the double blink. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. What did I just say?
Do a
Like,
double take.
like he pulled up in transition. First of all, he's 7'5" in transition. That's number one. And then he pulls up 2 steps past the freaking half court line and drills a 3-pointer. And this isn't in the first quarter where it don't matter if he misses. This is when to tie the game up.
They were down, because I always say that about LeBron. And again, I'm not bashing LeBron. I always say that about LeBron. LeBron would take a lot of those shots when the game was tied.
Yeah.
So it really didn't matter if he missed. Again, it would be in the fourth quarter. LeBron would be the one taking those shots. LeBron has had the most like go ahead shots or something like that. LeBron has proven to be clutch. But Wemby's level of competition is a little bit higher than LeBron's. It's kind of that Mamba mentality thing that Kobe and Jordan have. That killer.
He wants the ball.
Yo, when they were, it was certain plays that were happening. Like they're in OKC. The crowd is quiet, and Wemby is clapping it up, like looking at his teammates. Like, yo, he's so into the game. He's so into making an impact. It's so special to see, and it's we're privileged to be able to watch Wemby right now, man. It's special.
Yeah. Now, not to take all the sound away from the other side of the game, SGA had a pretty solid game. It wasn't his best game, but
which is why I think I don't know if you answered it, Cole. You got Wemby over SGA for MVP?
Oh yeah,
or
sure.
Jokic or somebody else.
Well, at the time, all three of them looked to be like all valuable candidates, but I think you and I both agreed that Wemby was the real MVP. I mean, he's the first unanimous decision winner for Defensive Player of the Year. And I mean, next year, we know how this goes. Next year, they're going to give it to him.
Wemby.
And, and we'll take it from there. But just to give, SGA some love, I mean, 2 consecutive MVPs, that's not easy. He's in a pretty good company here. Here is a list of players that have won 2 or more. So he's with Karl Malone, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan only won 2 MVPs. Is kind of crazy to think of. But Steph Curry, he's got 2. Giannis has 2. And then we get to the 3+ people like Magic. Moses Malone got 3. Larry Bird, Jokic, and so on. But he's in some good company here, man. I mean, 2 MVPs, him and Giannis, Steph Curry, Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Steve Nash, I forgot to mention him, and then Bob Pettit. I don't know who that is. I guess that's
Steve
old
Nash
school.
Has 2.
Yeah, he stole one from Kobe, but
yeah, that's
the 2 MVP
that's
company
crazy.
He's in. But
that just says that makes no sense. Like that's what that tells me is that the MVP makes no sense. It's just like the MVP in NFL. Like it's
a popularity contest.
It's a popularity best team, best player on the best team, which it should not be best player on the best team. It should be who makes the most impact, and everybody knows that's Wemby. Like, everybody knows it was Jordan for all those years. Like, to hear that list and hear that LeBron only has 2, that makes no sense in the world. Kobe only has 1. Shaq only has 1. I take
look at it like this, Wiggs.
And I was like, Code, that actually kind of pissed me off. Like, SGA has more than Kobe and Shaq. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean,
off of free throws.
Off of free throws, bro. But like, look at it like this. With SGA, if he were to be taken off OKC and Wemby would be taken off the Spurs, which team makes the playoffs? I say OKC still makes the playoffs, and I say Spurs don't. So that right there is my logic for league MVP. He's the most valuable player on his team. That's why I still lobby for Jaden Daniels still getting the MVP his rookie season. Because without him, we weren't a 12-win team. But the most valuable player.
We saw that last year, Coach.
Exactly. He's off the team, 5 wins. So the most valuable player to me should just be the person that presents the most value for that particular team. Wemby is going to do something special, which is dethrone OKC possibly and alter their dynasty and create his own. So we'll see how it works here, y'all. Let us know what you think there. Click on the bottom right-hand corner and like and subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend. Now, moving on here, as we're continuing with basketball, we got a conference call here. So we talked about the Western Conference, with OKC and the Spurs, and I think it's safe to say that we're choosing the Spurs, right, to make the finals.
Hey, let's get into it.
Okay. What do you think, Wiggs?
So it sounds like you got the Spurs to win. I'm gonna take the Spurs as well. We talked about this for weeks, Co. In my opinion, Wembanyama is the MVP. He has the most impact, 40 points and 20 rebounds. And that wasn't Wembanyama's best game. You said it for SGA, Co. It wasn't SGA's best game. That wasn't Wemby's best game. Like, we saw a little bit of everything, but we talked about, I think, his shot at the end of the fourth quarter. I was like, yo, that's a terrible shot. And I think you said, how you 9 feet and you put that shot up? And you're right. It was a bad shot. Like, he was fumbling around, and it was a physical game. I do like that as well. Like, the referees kind of let them play last night. SGA didn't get a call at the end of the game that could have sent him to the free throw. Mm-hmm. And I like that they didn't make, all those calls. But I have a feeling, and I'll say this and then pass it back to you, Co. I have a feeling that the referees are going to start to make those calls, and that's going to...
Right, you took the words right out of my mouth,
man. In OKC's way, potentially.
I agree. Because, if they let them play the way they played last night, number one, I don't even know if both teams are going to make it to Game 7, because that was a tough game. 2 overtimes, very physical, old school basketball. I love it. Whoever, I don't know, Game 2 is going to be different. It's going to be an OKC, right? Mm-hmm. So I think, to your point, I think the refs might start doing more of the ticky-tack foul stuff and allow SGA to, get his points from the free throw line.
Yep.
And, Wembanyama is probably going to be overly physical, and they're probably going to put him in foul trouble. And next thing you know, he hasn't played the whole second quarter, and they're in it and all this other crap. And they're just going to look, let's see if we can get to 7 games, because at this pace, Wemby's pissed. They might mess around and do a gentleman's sweep. Because if they stole game 1, so now they got the confidence. They're really like, hey, look, we can lose this game. If we split this series going back to San Antonio, you know what I'm saying? So the ball's in OKC's court right now, so the refs might come in and play. So I don't know. But as far as the Eastern Conference goes, we got the Cavs and we have the New York Knicks, both with some storybook possible endings here. The Cavs winning one without LeBron, and the Knicks finally winning one without Phil Jackson as a player. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while. And we can finally get Spike Lee something to cheer about. So I'm taking the Knicks, bro. I know they're the favorite, so I know it's easy to take them, but I like the Knicks in this scenario, man, because I don't trust James Harden. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to take a blue pill, and he's going to end up going limp when it matters.
Hey, we don't have a Blue Chew sponsor yet.
Yeah, from Harden to Soft. Don't.
This might be the time to get one of the
right. No bull.
But yeah, nah. James Harden or Jalen Brunson?
I trust Jalen Brunson.
Okay. Donovan Mitchell or Mikal Bridges?
Obviously I would take Donovan Mitchell, but they also have Cat.
That's what I'm about to get to. Cat or Evan Mobley?
I'm going to take Cat.
Okay.
I'm going to take Cat.
Or Evan Mobley and Jared Allen together.
Great point. I like Jared Allen. He's a scrappy dude. I think he's going to give Cat some problems, but Cat has an outside game too. So if he brings him outside the paint, he might be a defensive liability. And Brunson, he's kind of has that similar style to Mitchell and Harden with that that hero ball syndrome where he dribbles the ball for like 20 seconds and then tries to put up some Hail Mary jump shot step back at the last second. I think that's going to come back to haunt both sides, but it's just a matter of who doesn't choke at the end of this series because Brunson has come up short sometimes too. He's been a Brunson burner. He's clutch, but he's missed a lot of shots.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Ko. The storylines. This is a storyline, and this is while this is a storyline or storybook, setting or scenario waiting to happen for both of these teams. This is actually where the story ends because whoever wins the Western Conference is who's going to win.
Is going to win the title. We know this, yeah.
So it's like, this is about to be. It is going to be a story. This
is the end.
Yeah, but we know this is whoever makes it out of this. Pack your bags for Cancun.
Yeah,
that finals is probably going to be a gentleman's sweep.
I agree.
To make it out of this, OG Anunoby, who I think is actually going to be a lot like AJ DeBonsa. I think OG Anunoby for the Knicks is actually a really good AJ DeBonsa comp. And again, we'll get into that a little bit later, but I think the Cavs have a little bit more, but then I think the Knicks, when you go into their bench, I think that's where they're going to prevail in this series. So I'm going to go with the Knicks, and I think the starters are going to kind of break even.
Okay.
And I don't think Harden's going to do anything special. If anything, I think it's going to be Jalen Brunson or Big Cat, who's kind of like the MVP of the series. To help New York win, I think it'll be Brunson or Cat.
Okay.
But yeah, if it was the Cavs, it would have to be Donovan Mitchell. But the Cavs are up right now. I should say that, Ko. While we're both talking about New York winning, the Cavs are up by like 20 points in game one. So that says that we really believe in New York, and this is kind of an anomaly. But the Cavs did have a really good game 7 versus Detroit. Let me shout out Detroit. I always got to show Detroit some love. The Cavs did have a really good game 7 in Detroit. I think Donovan Mitchell learned that he has to get these bigs involved. Yeah. And he really started to get Evan Mobley and Jared Allen involved. And he's doing the same thing in this game. James Harden is it as well. So I think that's made a really big difference in this series. But I do still think the Knicks will adjust. And we'll see the Knicks versus the Spurs in the finals. And the Spurs will
whoop ass. Yeah. I think we can both agree on that, Wiggs. So I think let's see. So Western Conference Finals, give me San Antonio in 6, and Knicks and Cavs, give me Knicks in 7.
Okay. And then how about for the finals?
Give me gentleman's sweep for the Spurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the same thing for the final. Spurs versus Knicks, gentleman's sweep. If the Cavs somehow beat the Knicks, I do think it goes to show that those bigs that they have and the 2 guards that they have, because they kind of have a big 4 right now. Like,
yeah, they do.
Or unless you count the 2 bigs as one, it's kind of like I said, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley as one.
It's a package deal.
Then right, so it's kind of like a big 4, big 3, big 2.5 if we have any space players, 2 and a possible. But it'll if the Cavs do get by the Knicks, it'll show that those players are they figured something out, and that could be kind of a test for Wemby. 2 bigs and 2 guards. Again, the game last night went double OT for the Spurs.
Yeah.
So
there's a reason why
it wasn't a cakewalk. The Thunder do have the current MVP. He's gonna get some calls. So these series I think are gonna go 6 and 7. But I'm just happy we got some good basketball. Let me say that. Hey.
Yeah, I agree with you, Wiggs. I agree with you. Now we got a few more minutes here. Now one thing we can talk about here is how these teams got here. They built through the draft and through free agency. And that's something that Washington finally figured out. So they made some good trades. We got Ice Trader Gang. We got AD here. If he doesn't want to play here, let his Mr. Glass ass go, and we can bring someone else in because we got an opportunity to build a winner. So I'm gonna pass the ball to you, Wiggs, so you can just cover just like us having the number one pick. Do you think we should keep it, and who do you think we should draft with the number one pick, or should we trade back?
Great question. Great question. I'm going to be in the minority here, and I'm going to say we should trade back with Utah.
Okay. Okay.
Looking at AJ DeBonsa and Darren Peterson highlights today. I've watched these guys all season long. I like Darren Peterson's game a little bit more than AJ DeBonsa just because, in my opinion, Darren Peterson is the archetype of Jordan and Kobe. He's 6'5",
now, is this the kid 6'6", that has a load management issue?
Has the cramp, that has the cramp load management issue. He is that kid. But I think that's going to get solved in the NBA. Like, go get with LeBron's guys, sign with Rich Paul and them, get LeBron's juice, and you'll be on your way. Like, when you watch this guy play, first of all, he can shoot like Kobe. Like, he can shoot over people. It doesn't matter who. Like, he has the dead eye badge when it comes to shooting. He'll shoot in anybody's face. He can dribble. He can go to the rack. When he played against AJ DeBonsa, he's played against him at least 2 or 3 times. He's beaten him every time, and he's looked better in the game when they play against each other. That to me kind of stands out because sometimes you have guards who don't impact the game, like who don't impact winning. Darren Peterson impacts winning. Now, AJ DeBonsa, I'll give him credit. He's 6'9", and he's like SGA. Like, that's dangerous, Code. A 6'9" SGA. And I think that's the only reason. That's also one of the reasons I wanted to say that as somebody who lives in the area of Washington, D.C., I know our fans, and our fans don't like foul baiting players like SGA. AJ DeBonsa is a really good foul baiting player. He's actually really good at getting free throws. That's one of his positives.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that I guess our fans will like it because he's on our team. You know what I'm saying?
If it if it generates
wins.
If
he's on our team, we like it. Like, if SGA played for us, we wouldn't care about.
I wouldn't be frying him up. Yeah, right.
Exactly. So
let Bron come to DC. Watch what happens. I will retract every statement.
Hey. You jumping on that wood quick.
Hey, somebody give me the honey.
Hey, chill. For real though. LeBron, come to DC.
Yeah.
But I think they should trade back, get Darren Peterson. But if they stay at number one, I think AJ DeBonsa will be the pick. I don't think the Wizards are going to pick Darren Peterson over AJ DeBonsa because I think AJ DeBonsa is 6'9", like I said. He can do everything.
You can't teach height.
Yeah, you can't teach height. He can do everything. I literally think he's a 6'9" SGA or OG Anunoby for the Knicks with a little less defense. But OG Anunoby is a 20-8 type of player. You put a 20-8, 6'9" player on the Wizards, that's a good impact. So that's kind of like the can't miss player. And again, it's like the Carnell Tate versus Jordan Tyson argument, Code.
Okay, yeah, that's a good comparison.
Want the player that has no injury, no off the field issues,
or do you want a game changer?
In AJ DeBonsa, or do you want somebody who has a little bit more pep on the film? When you watch the film, they stand
more dynamic,
a little bit more dynamic, but they have some issues mentally. I definitely don't want to say mentally. They have some
physically,
physically that just give you some pause.
Okay. Well, we'll take a look and see what happens. I mean, the draft is right around the corner, right? I mean, it happens normally right after the finals, right?
Yep. I want to say it's in either late June or early July. And we'll give y'all a top 5 mock draft when we get there, right? The Brodies will do that.
All right, y'all. So moving on is we're going to go back to the gridiron. Okay, we're in the 3rd installment of the book of Jaden Daniels. Okay, 3rd season is loading up. The schedule has been released, Wiggs, and I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of unsettled fans out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Funko. You know, there's a lot of unsettled fans out there. Some people aren't happy about the schedule. Like they think it's a hard schedule. They don't think we're going to win a lot of games. And then there's a lot of people that are optimistic. So, I mean, rapid fire style session here, Wiggs. I mean, we got 17 games to go over. Week 1, we start off with the Eagles. Who you got?
Give me a week 1 W, man.
I'm with you.
Commanders come out and
simple
and show the world.
Simple.
We got 5. As long as we got 5, we're in the game.
Here's a good thing why I like this, Wiggs. Week 1 is it's a wash because it's your first game that you're playing where you have all your starters playing. They're not, playing against each other in practice. So it's the first opponents in real time. And it's the first, the Eagles got a new coordinator on offense. Mm-hmm. They're most likely going to lose Antonio Brown. So it's the first game. So I'm not expecting, it can go either or. The Eagles can win or the Skins can win.
It's a real toss up. And that's when you want to play a good team, is when it's the first game of the season. And that's why I think they'll get this first win versus the Eagles and lose the next game versus the Eagles. So I think they're going to split with the Eagles.
Okay, I agree. I'll go with a split. Now, week 2, we're starting off our first 2 games on the road. So we're at Dallas.
Divisional games.
Yeah, and divisional games. So we start the season off 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Hey, that's an easy call, Cole. That's an easy
okay.
call. Cowboys.
And then week 3, we got a rematch against the Seahawks. Now, I don't want to be a fan here, Wiggs. But at the same time, I know 5 is pissed because he didn't get a chance to really shine. We start the season off 3-0.
This is where I gotta disagree with you, man.
Okay.
These are the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. With my safety, Nick Emanwari, that defense. And we've always had a tough time when we play against really, really, really good defenses, really good offenses, really well coached teams. Those have been the teams that give us problems. Again, Jaden is going to keep us in this game, but I'm going to give the Seahawks the edge here.
Okay, that's fair. Week 4, I believe this is the home opener for us.
No, the Seahawks was the home opener.
Seahawks for the home opener. Okay.
I got to second the L for our first home game, which will be typical Commanders. We start 2-0 and then we lose at home. Like that. That's just typical.
Well, if we don't win, hopefully it'll be a close game. Yeah. All right. And then we got the Colts. For me, again, we're starting off hot, baby. Give me 4-0.
Yeah, I like this one. Who's the Colts quarterback right now? I'm not even sure.
It don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Danny Dimes is out.
Commanders, right? Yeah, give me the Commanders.
Okay. Then we got week 5 against the Giants. The Skins are rolling, baby. Give me 5-0.
Hey, you got 5-0. I like it. I got us at 4-1. I got us beating the Giants again. Another divisional game. I got us being 3-0 in the division and 4-1 overall. That would be great for our first 5 games. Like if we can get to 4-1 in the first 5. That's best case scenario. So let me stop you right there, Cole, because we are going to get through this pretty quickly. 4-1 is best case scenario. What's worst case scenario for these first 5?
2-3.
Okay, well, give me your quick 2 and 3.
The Giants and the Colts.
Giants are the 2 W. So we start 0-3.
Yeah, worst case scenario, start off 0-3, and then we win 2 straight. And then we get back on off the snide here. Now the Giants.
That's interesting. 0-3 start versus I got 2-1 is mine. That's real though. That's the NFL. Yeah. Like it's any given Sunday league.
Any given Sunday, and that's why I think the Skins would take their first loss on Monday Night Football against the Niners.
That's a great. Hey, that's what you call research, Cole. Because when we've lost in the past, it'll be weeks like a Thursday night football game or a Monday night football game. We've lost a lot of those in the past. It's week 6, so by this point there are probably a little bit of injuries. You know, I'm I'm not gonna think that everybody's gonna be healthy all season long. We have some great players. They play well when the season starts. Our offensive line is good at the beginning of every year, and then somebody gets hurt, and our team, the dynamic of the team changes. So I would say by this week, I can see that happening. But give me a W.
Okay. All right. So week 8, we got the Eagles. So we both agreed we're
We got
gonna
the bye week on 7.
Yeah, we got the bye week on 7. We got an early bye week this year. And then we come off that bye and unfortunately take an L to Eagles. So
we split with them. The Eagles are rolling at this point. Jalen Hurts,
they're back to normal. Yeah,
knows how to do what he does. So yeah.
Okay. Now week 9, the Skins complete a 3-game skid where they lose 3 straight. I got them losing it to the Rams too.
That's very interesting, Co, because in your worst case scenario, you would have them starting 0-3, winning 2, and then losing another 3 right here. In the real scenario is interesting because that's just how things happen. In the NFL, sometimes you kind of go on runs of losing 2, and then it's like, all right, let's regroup. And I think that's what they're going to do because I do think they're going to lose to the Rams. But I think they win the next week versus the Giants again.
I agree. We get off the snide. So now that on my side, we're at 6-4. I mean, 6-3. And then we got the Bengals.
I'm at 6-3 too, Co.
Yep. Then we're at the Bengals. I'm taking the Skins 7-3.
Yeah, their defense is still not good enough to beat Jaden. If Jaden is playing, we're winning this game. This is gonna be a shootout, though. If Joe Burrow
it's gonna be a shootout.
Playing,
I like that.
This is gonna be a great game because we'll have a chance to see the two best LSU quarterbacks of the last 5 years in Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels.
Yep. And then we play Arizona. That's another W. 8-3.
Easy dub. Easy.
And then we get back on the snide. We start a little roll here in week 13 with Tennessee. So that's 9-3.
I'm with you. That should be a good game. Cam Ward, the number 1 pick the year after Jaden. Carnell Tate, he gets his number 1 receiver in Carnell Tate from Ohio State. We have Sonny Styles from Ohio State on defense. So that's going to be an interesting game to see Sonny versus Carnell, the number 4 pick for Tennessee versus our number 7 pick here in DC.
That's going to be interesting. Now, going into week 14 at a 9-3 record, we get another L from the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I'm same page. Again, it's whenever it's a well-coached team, good defense, and I love D'Amico Ryans. He's one of my favorite coaches in the league. I don't think he gets enough love. I think he should have been coach of the year last year because he had the Texans defense looking like the 2000 Ravens. They were a really good defense last year. So, yeah, I just don't think we're going to get past them unless our defense with Sonny Styles by this time is looking really good. Devontae Jones has established a system, a scheme that works really well. Then I think we can start to win some of these games. But I don't think we're going to be perfect next year. So we got to take some L's. To me, the Texans will be one of the better teams next year.
I agree. All right. So now we take 9-4 into week 15, and we got the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I have the Skins taking an L here at 9-5.
Okay. I like that, Co. And I think we might have lost to the Falcons last year, and I think that's why I have them winning this year because we beat them the first year when we had Jaden. It was close. It was close again last year, but the Falcons ended up winning. So I think now we kind of get back. And this is kind of like a little rivalry that we have. Mm-hmm. Again, a lot of these, the league is in really good hands having Jaden, having Caleb, because, that year kind of restarts or resets, the next generation.
Yeah.
And it kind of resets the storyline. So now we have the storyline of their year quarterbacks, and are they better than the next year? And we have Michael Penix as well, and Penix is in that same class. So anytime you have a Penix versus Jaden Daniels game is going to be good, and I think JD5 is going to come out on top in this one. So give me a W.
Okay, let's hope so there. Now, with me, we're going to take the 9-5 record into Minnesota here. Now, I got Minnesota taking an L as payback for last year. So 10-5 for the Skins so far.
Yep, and I got us at 11-4. We beat the Vikings. The Vikings are going to have the little engine that could in Kyler Murray or my guy JJ McCarthy from Michigan, and I don't think either of those quarterbacks are better than Jimmy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So now I'm taking my 10-5 record to Duval. Give me another W. Okay. That haircut don't mean nothing to me. All right. Skins go 11-5.
Yeah, give me 12-4 at this point versus the Jags. At this point, Brian Thomas might be in a Skins in a Commanders uniform.
Right.
We might get to the trade deadline. The Jaguars, because a lot of these players want to play with Jaden. We already have Rashad White. We might have Brandon Ayuk at that point. So we might not need Brian Thomas depending on how Brandon Ayuk does, and or Diggs, both him and his brother. So there's no telling at that point. But I think we get a W in Duval.
Okay. And then to wrap the season up here, the Skins take their 11-5 record on my end here to beat Dallas again with a sweep and finish the season 12-5. What do you think, Wiggs?
I would love that. I would love that scenario, Co, better than mine, because I have us losing to Dallas to end up 12-5 as well.
Okay.
And I think Dallas is good. Excuse me. Oh, shit.
Late night.
Right. I think Dallas is good, but what I think this game is going to come down to is we're already going to be in the playoffs, and we're actually going to be sitting some of our starters having such a good start at the season at 12-4. That'll be a throwaway game for us.
Okay, that's fair. So we both finished at 12-5, just in a different formation there. So I mean, hey, look, that would be best case scenario. 12-5. Worst case scenario, 9-8.
Worst case, starting at 0-3, you end up with a 9-8 record. That wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't be mad at that. If we start off 0-3 next year and end up 9-8, I wouldn't be mad at that.
No, I think that's promising. But I think it's safe to say that if we add Diggs and or Ayuk and maybe even his brother, I mean, his brother's still out there. We need another corner. He's favorable in Quinn's system too. So we'll see. But let us know what you think there, Brodies. Click on the bottom right-hand corner and like, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Now, if you guys grew up in that early 90s era, there was a particular movie with Tupac Shakur called Above the Rim. Okay. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. But this particular phrase, above the rim, has a reference to our Did You Know series and the origins of basketball, Wigs. And you're going to see why I labeled it above the rim. Now, basketball began as an invention in 1891 in Springfield, Massachusetts by a Canadian named James Naismith. He was a physical education teacher at the YMCA. Now, around this time, this wasn't considered Springfield, Massachusetts. It was actually considered Canada from a territorial standpoint. But once, the lines were divided or whatever, they renamed it Springfield, Massachusetts. Exactly. So James Naismith wanted to create a less injury-prone sport to combat football. And also, for anyone who wanted to play football, it was a sport that can keep you in shape in the wintertime, because they wanted to keep the players inside and keep them in shape. So they created this sport. So long story short, Naismith's boss asked him to create a sport to keep the people in shape. Naismith was 31 years old, and he was a graduate student at the school at the time, which is called Springfield University, I believe. Now, what he ended up doing was, originally, he took his gym class and divided them in half. The original basketball game started with 9 versus 9. not 5 versus 5. So that's one fact. All right. And it grew popular, obviously, during the early 20th century and progressed, throughout the country and overseas and turned into a multi-billion-dollar company. Now, the NBA was created in 1946. That's when things kind of started to like take off. But until then, it was more so a college sport. Now, as far as like just the invention of the game here goes, Wiggs, this is the cool part. So the basketball originally was like a soccer style ball. The guy came up with it like a soccer style ball before they invented the basketball. And what he ended up doing was at the YMCA, he ended up getting a peach basket and drilling it to the wall and split the teams up, like I said, 9 versus 9. And they would be able to throw the ball to each other. You couldn't dribble. Dribbling was illegal. So you could either throw the ball to your teammate with one hand or two hand, or bat it to your teammate like in volleyball. But you couldn't dribble, right? And the only way you can pass is if your teammates would run routes on the court. And when they stopped, you would pass them the ball. And then they would just do that crap until they got close enough to the basket to tap it in. There was no jump shot with a follow through. They would tap it in like it was a volleyball. Oh, wow. Now, because the peach baskets were closed off at the end, the ball would go in and sit in there. And then they would have to pause the game to get the janitor to get the ladder to go above the rim and take the ball out so they can put it back in play. Hence the term of the segment, above the rim, right? So after people started getting annoyed with the game being slowed down because of it, that's when they started to cut the bottoms out and let the ball go through the net. So that's where all that stuff started from. But to give you some rules, bro, this is so cool. So the original rules of basketball, the ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands, like I mentioned, or batted in any direction with one or both hands. Fouling caused you to be disqualified from a game. A physical foul, you were disqualified from the game, and you could only come back in until one of your teammates made a basket. That's crazy. And there was only 3 fouls allowed in a game. And let's see what else here. What's another cool?
You touched the other team more than 3 times. Y'all are disqualified as the whole team.
Right. So it's just crazy to just like look at like the original origins of the game and just to see where it's evolved. Just from people putting their insights. Like one of his teammates was like, "Hey, you should cut the bottom of that basket out, man. Like I'm tired of stopping the game and having to go get a ladder and take the ball out the damn basket because it wouldn't go through." But that's funny. Did you know that, Wiggs?
No, that's crazy. That's a great history lesson. And we basically went from peach crates to milk crates,
Right.
In the early 80s, I can actually remember going to my cousin's house in Chicago and shooting on milk crates with a ball. And
I remember that.
I remember my cousin being good, and I just remember like, yo, if my cousin gets good in basketball, we're gonna really be able to tell the story that he grew up shooting on milk crates. So yeah, that's very cool. It's crazy to see where the game has gone.
Yeah,
I really like the 9 versus 9 thing because it shows that, in my opinion, 5 versus 5 is like a really good number. We even have 3 versus 3. I think undisputed for the women basketball.
I think that's 3 versus 3. Yeah,
3 versus 3 or 4 versus 4. The big 3.
Big 3. Yep.
So I like how,
and they got some one-on-one leagues and stuff out there too.
Right. I like how the game adjusts to lower numbers. And it makes me think, honestly, football we do have 7-on-7s. I think that's kind of like no pads.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested. What does 7-on-7 look like with pads now? Like if basketball could go to 5, and to me, it makes much more sense than 9 versus 9. Like, just because that's kind of football looks a little jumbled now with 9 players. I mean, with 11 on 11. Maybe that 7-on-7 will look good, but that's just one of the thoughts I had. Listen to some of the historical facts, and the Knicks have taken the lead. I don't know if you have your TV on.
Yeah, I got it. I got the volume down low. Let me see what's the score.
Yeah, here. It was a 20-point game when we were watching. The Knicks got this to overtime and took the lead. I can't believe this.
You know what? That just actually gave me an idea for next week's Did You Know segment. I'm going to look up the origins of the 3-point shot because the only way that these teams are winning now is by shooting threes. I mean, you're down by 20. Being down by 20 doesn't mean anything now.
I thought this game was over. That's why I'm like, I saw it and I'm like, why is New York happy? They were down by 20 in the fourth quarter. Like it was only like 7 or 8 minutes. I can't be tripping, but yeah, like these leads mean nothing.
I mean, look at it like this, Wiggs. If you're down by 15 and you hit 4 threes,
yeah, it's a 3-point game after that.
Yeah, so that's our show for today. Brodies there. I hope you enjoyed that. Like, click on the bottom right-hand corner, like and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Inbox us for the Brody hats. We're currently sold out of the Brody special snapbacks. We'll let you know when those are back in the market. But we got new Brody buckets available. We got white. You can customize your logos. We got the jerseys available for $85. And we got some other apparel coming soon here, y'all. But until then, it's the Lord Head Co-Worlds, the guy Jay Wiggs. It's Brody Sports Talk, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.